So what is the big concern with this AI bubble? And does it actually have any real foundation? What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBit Solutions, and that is exactly what we're going to cover in today's video. Again, some of the top performing stocks for 2025 have been AI focused. I think that a lot of us could agree that if your stock had a good story and good price momentum and just threw in the word AI, it probably performed pretty well in 2025, at least for the better half of the year. But recently, it's kind of taken a turn for the worst, right? It's no longer just a story of, oh, they're just trying to pop this bubble. It's, oh, wow, there might actually be something here. Some of these AI stocks from their 52-week highs have experienced a 64% retracement, Coreweave being one of them, and a lot of them in the 40s. With that being said, what has led to such a significant downturn on a lot of these AI-driven stocks? And should this be of concern to you? That's exactly what we're going to dive in a little bit deeper with in today's video. Again, I really hope that you learned something new. And if you do, please consider dropping a thumbs up and subscribing if you feel like we earned it. One of the softwares that we're going to be using today is called Investing Pro. I linked it for you. It's the first link in the description down below. So if you want to use this software with me as we analyze some of these different AI stocks, I would encourage you to pause this video, click that first link, sign up so we can dive a little bit deeper and to learn more about the companies that we're choosing to invest and trade in the market. With that being said, well, what is the problem? Why is there uncertainty with AI? I thought that it was good, right? Well, Michael Burry shed some light on the uncertainty of how a lot of these AI companies are depreciating their chips. To make it very simple, I mean, there's this post that he shared. Understanding depreciation by extending useful life of assets artificially boosts earnings. One of the more common frauds of the modern era. What exactly does this mean? He calls out Meta, Google, Oracle, Microsoft, and Amazon. So what is he saying? Well, again, a really big focus for 2025 has been AI, and these chips, the GPUs, are incredibly expensive. Again, these big trillion, billion dollar companies are investing a ton into this AI infrastructure, the GPUs. But instead of like a normal business maybe depreciating their expenses of the GPUs within 12 to 24 months, some of them are extending the life of these GPUs up to 12 years, Coreweave being one of them. Why is this a problem? Let me explain. GPU accelerated cloud infrastructure for AI 2024 net loss, this is for Coreweave, was $863 million. So this company still reported a loss of $863 million. But that's with a 6-year depreciation of GPU schedule. If you switch it to a more realistic 3-year life of the GPUs, the depreciation now doubles, and now they are at a loss of $1.73 billion. So by being able to depreciate whatever expense it is that you're choosing to take on, in this case, the GPUs, over a longer period of time, let's say that it costs your business $1 million for these GPUs. I just want to give you a pretty number. But instead of depreciating them within 1 to 2 years, now you want to depreciate them for 10 years. So now instead of an expense being $1 million or $500,000 within the 1 to 2 year mark for those GPUs, now the expense that you're really just writing off every single year is $100,000. So now your expenses are 1/10 of what they were. So now your revenue and your net profits look a lot better. And that is the problem. So that is simply what he began to shed light on. Longer depreciation means lower yearly cost, higher short-term profits, and a much nicer looking financial statement, which tends to help you when you're trying to pump up an $80 billion valuation. And again, one of the examples we're given is Coreweave and nvda are pretty similar companies. But when it comes down to the depreciation schedule, nvda likes to use 3 to 4 years. When you have Coreweave, they have a schedule of either 3 to 6 or 8 to 12 years. Do you see the kind of like outlier there? Is they are simply choosing to take on one of their biggest expenses and now extend the depreciation of those GPUs. And that is what Michael Burry began to call out. And since then, we've began to see a lot of these AI stocks significantly retrace, simply because it's not that they're not making money as they were once reporting. It's that, well, realistically, because of that depreciation and how they're doing it, they're just realistically not making probably as much. And he called out Meta, Google, Oracle, Microsoft, and Amazon, all of them, based off of how much longer they are choosing to actually take to depreciate these GPUs. It has even come to our understanding that nvidia, who makes these very expensive GPUs, realistically has a window for 12 to 24 months. So although some of them are taking 6 to 12 years to depreciate these GPUs, some of them are being replaced within 12 to 24 months. So therefore, the real life value of these GPUs are a lot less than what they are reporting. That is where the uncertainty is with these AI stocks. So when diving a little bit deeper, again, jumping back into Investing Pro, one of the things that I love about Coreweave right now is when we actually pull it up here on the 30-minute time frame, it recently pumped up, right? Pushing up to highs of $83 per share. But if you look, since its recent performance and its highs of 153, we've been able to see consistent lower highs and lower lows. And although it does have really nice upticks, again, they're short-lived rallies that eventually end up correcting. They rally, they become overbought, and then they quickly correct. They rally, they become overbought, and quickly correct. They rally, they become overbought, and if you, again, are patient enough, it ends up correcting, right? When diving a little bit deeper into this actual company, you can see that it's simply a terrible business. It's a revenue-based business of $4.3 billion. It has a net income of $766 million, meaning that it loses $766 million, and it's been getting worse. And this is with its aggressive depreciation, right, over a longer period of time. If they were more realistically depreciating their GPUs to their true and real life value, we would be in the billions of dollars of loss, because that means that they would have a higher expense and less of net income. Isn't that interesting? But again, you would never know that if that light was not shed by Michael Burry. And like I said it before, Michael Burry has been wrong in the past before. Although he is notorious for shorting the housing bubble crash, I think that's great, but no one is right 100% of the time. The part that I love most about this is that he sheds light on the uncertainty of what is going on with a lot, not all of them, but a lot of these AI companies. And it's something to be aware of. So hopefully you make a less impulsive and more informed decision. The other one that I want to bring up that's been making a lot of headlines is Oracle. Oracle has taken a huge hit, where if we actually pull it up in the charts, you guys can see that this stock is down nearly 50% from the highs that it made earlier this year, running up to highs of $345 per share and now trading at lows of $191. And that's after a recent uptick. At one point, it was trading at lows of $177. So I want to remind you, if this comes more to light, if we begin to learn more about, hey, these GPUs are actually being replaced quicker, their expenses are getting bigger, but they are using longer depreciation schedules to actually write off those expenses, so their net profits actually look bigger than what they actually are, then I believe more downturn and more uncertainty can begin to present itself. And again, I would say that this is a big reason why we've seen Oracle see such a significant pullback. When using Investing Pro, one of the things that I like about it is that it allows me not only to be able to dive a little bit deeper and to be like, oh, wow, look, this company actually has been producing better revenue. That's all great. But I want to understand the uncertainty, the risk as well. So trading at a high earnings multiple, trading at a high PE ratio, stock price movement is quite volatile. And it talks about the pro tips of the good and the bad. The part that I really like about this is that if you actually zoom on in and you can actually see this little exclusive executive summary, However, Oracle faces substantial challenges, including high debt load exceeding $100 billion to finance its aggressive data center expansion. And I want to remind you that by taking on a lot of debt, especially during a very uncertain time, if it all just doesn't end up working out, these are the companies that will retrace the hardest. I also did this for Coreweave. I wanted to understand why this company has not only exploded in 2025, because we have to give credit where it's due, right? If you look at its performance for 2025, it's gone from lows of $33 per share to highs of $187. That's incredibly impressive, right? It doesn't mean that it has to sustain those levels, but it is incredibly impressive for those that chose to trade this. But now with this big pullback is, hey, maybe do I want to buy the dip, or is there more potential downside? This is what I think not enough people understand. So Coreweave has demonstrated extraordinary growth, obviously, right? But despite impressive revenue growth, Coreweave faces significant financial challenges, including heavy reliance on debt financing with a total debt of approximately $14.6 billion, resulting in substantial interest expense and negative free cash flow. I want to remind you that cash flow is so important, especially as we're entering an uncertain time. And this is the position it's choosing to put itself in during this potential downturn. Now, again, I want to remind you, Coreweave is not a profitable business. Now, on top of that, it's over leveraging itself during an uncertain time. So if markets do begin to retrace, then again, its financial obligations and its negative cash flow will most likely lead to a more significant downturn. At least that's how I see this, right? Coreweave's expansion strategy is aggressive but disciplined, with the company's plan to grow its contracted power capacity, and then it gets into the actual breakdown if you actually want to learn more about the company and what its goals and visions are. But that's the part that I found to be very interesting, is when you begin to dive a little bit deeper into the actual business itself, you can actually begin to understand, hey, is this actually just a hyped up stock that has a really good story with good price momentum? Or is this a business that's actually beginning to improve? For myself, I think Coreweave meets all of the red flags. During a very uncertain time, it's over leveraging itself, it's negative in cash flow, and it's doing anything and everything to try to look better than what it actually is. And I would never know that if I never dive deeper into the actual financials. So again, don't get me wrong, technicals are useful, and for at least 2025, they've been the most useful because direction has been in your favor. But as uncertainty begins to present itself, there's never been a better time to actually do a fundamental analysis on the different companies that you're choosing to trade and to choosing to invest in. Because again, if you want to be a more informed trader and investor, how are you supposed to do that without having access to the info? So again, just another great reminder, if you ever want to check out Investing Pro, this is all made available for you. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, they have a huge sale that they just extended. It's 55% off, and it breaks down to less than $9 a month. So again, it's the first link in the description down below. Whenever you feel ready to be able to invest into Investing Pro. And this is really just scratching the surface. They also have Warren AI, which is more of like a chat GPT that is guided for investors and traders, and a bunch of different pro pick AI tools, different screeners and data explorers for those that want to, again, dive a little bit deeper into their journey as a trader and investor. So again, if you want to check it out, first link in the description down below. And one last question that I wanted to ask you is, and this is just scratching the surface, we're just talking about Michael Burry and the uncertainty that he began to present with AI. OpenAI is a completely different monster, and the inflated partnerships that OpenAI has facilitated with over $1.4 trillion in commitments to invest in these different companies, but yet OpenAI makes less than $20 billion in revenue a year. Again, the red flags are beginning to present themselves. And the thing that I love most about this is that it's not that AI isn't useful or that AI isn't the future. That's not what I'm saying at all. I just want to remind you, AI can be the future while a lot of these AI companies can still crash 50 to 80%. And we all know that's true. So again, instead of getting offended, why not get informed? So again, to be able to dive a little bit deeper, all the links are down in the description below. I really hope that this motivates you enough to dig deeper, to not just read the headlines or listen to what other people are telling you to do, but that you take control of your investments and your trades, and you hold yourself accountable to actually learn more about the companies you're interested in investing in. And you can only do that when you have access to that information. So again, all the links are down in the description down below. I appreciate you guys' time. I hope that earned a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you want to watch me trade live as soon as Monday, that's the second link in the description down below. I trade live every single morning right at market open, and I hope to see you then. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.